squash this. I want to apologize to all of them because I know this was embarrassing for all of them.
No return. I'm at that point.
Hey, you guys believe the
point of no return. This was totally unnecessary. The way it went about for me, you keep going on the internet looking for internet sympathy.
It don't matter if you win or lose. Swing on them. That's my hitter. I feel I could beat them with a little lesbian, white girl. I just want to see if we can do it for fun. Let's go battle Cam and 50 because 50 stepped into the...
He admits the obvious first. It's embarrassing for Harlem that this beef has transformed from a simple street clash into a brand issue. It's a great story, but it gives a bad look. The proposal, unity over drama. His offer is simple but bold. Stop feeding the drama. The parties should meet off camera, then return with a joint effort that proves Black unity sells better than petty clips. The challenge of authenticity. However, there's a catch. In today's world, apologies turn into memes faster than contracts are signed. If fans believe the resolution is fake, they'll call it a retreat. If they see genuine proof of collaboration, they'll call it leadership. Shifting focus, from talk to paperwork. That's why Dame's trying to shift the focus from comments to results. He is outlining what a real, profitable, and full revival would require. Rights, life rights, soundtracks, likeness, clarification on who truly controls the brand. If he wants to regain Harlem's respect, he needs signatures, not slogans. This requires a neutral producer, a clearance plan, a real timeline. All of this must be on paper. The culture's code and the urgency. Unfortunately, every time he preaches patience, someone else drops a punchline. The culture operates on a specific code. Don't bring family in, don't embarrass the block, and don't turn pain into clicks. Still, Dame's message hits deep. If Cam continues to say it's too late and 50 Cent keeps marketing his confidence like it's a trailer, then unity might look weak unless the paperwork proves otherwise. The question is simple but serious. Can Dame flip this embarrassment for Harlem into a profitable venture for Harlem and get it in writing?
Apologize to all of them because I know this was embarrassing for all of them. And I can't be violent and I won't be violent. My job is to keep them out of jail. So the only way I can deal with things is keep certain things out of the algorithm. Just to answer as soon as somebody says something. If y'all want to sit down and work it out and maybe do a TV show together, just showing the world that...
Two significant roadblocks have emerged to challenge Dame's proposal for unity. The two roadblocks: one, Cameron's boundary, the loss of trust. The first roadblock is Cameron's firm boundary. He's not arguing about contracts. He is stating that trust is fundamentally gone. When he calls it the point of no return, he's not just talking drama. He's setting a rule. While relations might remain friendly, the business partnership is definitively over. Signatures alone will not move this line in the sand. It will take something deeper, a code reset involving no more dragging family names, no more recycled rumors, no more public ammunition. The trolling economy, sincerity versus strategy. The second challenge is the trolling economy. An old clip of Dame bragging, "We can beat 50 and Cam," went viral, instantly turning his recent peace talks into a punchline. Fans now view his sincerity as strategy, not personal growth. This raises a difficult question. How do you fight internet laughs with time and paperwork? If 50 Cent's flex is mere showmanship, that's one thing. However, if he possesses real paperwork, rights, deals, or shopping agreements, that public laugh suddenly becomes leverage. Note, 50 Cent has publicly claimed to have acquired the rights to Paid in Full and is developing it into a TV series with Cameron as an executive producer, a claim Dame Dash has called into question. The Prove It Challenge. What owning Paid in Full means. From here, the focus shifts to stacking receipts and examining what owning Paid in Full actually entails versus what it merely sounds like. The word owns is interpreted differently in Hollywood, breaking down into distinct lanes of rights: story rights, sequel rights, titles, trademarks, life rights from the real people behind the story, music publishing, image usage from the original movie. Owning one lane means you can talk about it. Owning all the lanes means you can build it. This is the core of the Prove It Challenge. The fine print, based on versus authorized. The crucial question is, how could anyone in 2025 claim ownership without Dame involved? The answer lies in the fine print. options, assignments, shopping deals, and the difference between based on and authorized. This suggests that while Dame was a producer of the original 2002 film, the complex web of rights may have shifted, potentially through a bankruptcy proceeding or other assignments, giving 50 Cent the leverage to acquire the property rights for a new series. Note, reports suggest Dame Dash may have lost control of ownership after filing for bankruptcy and surrendering key assets. Clean rights. When a story's rights are clear, executives brag about it loudly and proudly. Messy rights. When rights are messy, everyone becomes a visionary, while lawyers quietly untangle the chaos behind the scenes. Dame's olive branch looks less like softness and more like strategy to force a conversation about the Harlem legacy and the paperwork. Who wrote the original script? Who holds the rights for a remake or sequel today? Can the title be reused? Did anyone lock down life rights from the real people? If 50 Cent has these answers checked out, he wins both the narrative and the business. If the details are cloudy, then Cameron's skepticism stops being just a diss and starts sounding like the truth behind the hype. The coexistence path. There is another path, coexistence. It is entirely possible to build a brand new series inspired by the same real events without touching any protected parts of the original movie. This creates a different product with a new promise. It can succeed, but only if the audience believes the new team has access to the real people and the tiny details that give the story authenticity. This made the first full, paid feel so real, and that's where the olive branch comes back in. From captions to contracts, if Dame is truly serious about unity, the smartest move isn't another social media post, it's paperwork. The fastest way to turn laughter into respect is to move the conversation from captions to wall contracts and show Kong Harlem the receipts, real dates, signatures, and deliverables. That's what shuts down rumors without a single word. Slowing down might actually save everyone from future problems. Loosely throwing around claims like, "we own it too," can damage relationships with the estates, unions, or rights holders you'll inevitably need later. Making false public claims can also turn into a major headache very quickly. The smartest version of this battle isn't flashy, it's solid. It requires a clean trail of ownership, a schedule of real deliverables, and 3 grown men who realize Harlem wins the most when nobody is forced to lose. Kick ass. The optics of money. Let's discuss the one thing that twists every argument. Money optics. The Breakfast Club turned this into a meme game, numbers pulled out of context, paperwork turned into personality tests, and a whole generation trained to treat Mase bankruptcy like a breakdown instead of a legitimate business move. Dame is attempting to flip that script, reminding people that fatherhood and lawsuits cost money, and that restructuring isn't failure. It's how a business survives to fight another day. However, none of that matters if the only thing social media respects is humiliation. That's the crack the trolls sneak through. Hurt 50 Cent. Built a second career on precision-timed shade. 7-word captions that travel farther than a 40-page contract. You don't need to win in court to win the crowd. You just have to make the other person look unserious. Every small flex becomes ammunition. When Dame jokes about beating 50 and Cam with a white lesbian rapper, it's obviously a performance hit. But online, screenshots turn theater into biased evidence. It blurs the message, makes the peace offering look defensive, and gives haters the easiest split screen. A calm apology on one side, a cocky clip on the other. Kashka. The path to policy. That's why talk isn't enough anymore. It needs policy. 1. Separate family from content. No sons, partners, or personal struggles turned into promo. 2. Overshare the business. In plain language, what are the revenue streams? Who are the partners? What's the next real milestone and who is signing it? 3. Build something for Harlem's scoreboard, not egos. Fund a pilot with neutral producers, secure a soundtrack moment that only real relationships could pull off, or make a community investment that proves they're putting money back where they took attention. Killing the rumor. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Audiences actually love vulnerability, but only when it's real and not turned into a weapon. If you truly want to kill a rumor, drop to facts that can't be twisted. Things like an audited statement, a judge's order, or a data deal memo speak louder than any argument. Then, stop feeding the trolls. They only survive when new drama drops. Replace defensive posts with progress updates, table reads, location locks, and casting announcements Harlem can actually cheer for. That's how you flip the algorithm, by feeding it results, not reactions. And yes, people will still laugh, but that's fine. Laughter is cheap. Our delivery is expensive. The longer the paperwork stays clean and the projects keep moving, the more those old clips start to look like relics from another era. At the end of the day, nobody argues with a God's premiere date. Harlem judges by who brings something finished and who keeps recycling the past. If the apology is real, it will evolve, perhaps into a partnership, or at least restoring peace and respecting the code. In Harlem, a public dispute is already a loss. When Cameron referred to a point of no return, he wasn't discussing legal contracts. He was talking about culture. That phrase signifies that the line wasn't crossed on paper, but in principle. The boundary was violated when a private friendship was turned into public content, and a personal issue became a public challenge. Once that happens, an apology must do more than just sound conciliatory. It must actively repair the code of conduct. This context explains why Dame Dash's olive branch was so direct. Saying the conflict was embarrassing to Harlem wasn't a weak line. It was a definitive warning. Harlem's rules and the path back. Harlem's rules are considered larger than the two individuals involved. No family talk, no cheap circus, and no staining the neighborhood for social media clicks. If those rules are broken, the only way to regain standing is to publicly over-respect the code. This requires a change in strategy, fewer captions and more structured communication, a genuine private sit-down meeting off camera, a clear on-camera statement of terms or resolution, a completed project that ultimately makes Harlem look stronger than the beef ever did. The community is watching every move, with the elders observing the younger generation and the legends monitoring the crowd, all waiting to see if anyone slips into the meme zone. The new dynamics of an apology. Dame's recent apology feels different because it's not about winning a debate. It's about refusing to continue feeding one. If the true mission is to stop embarrassing Harlem, the first step is to stop giving the internet a cheap, sensationalized version of it. The politics of this situation are both simple and difficult. The first person to shut down the circus, provided their actions and principles align, pairs to be a leader. However, if that silence isn't backed by something real, it quickly looks like surrender. In the current digital era, the loudest caption often wins the crowd. In today's world, sounding like a green light for a fight makes you one, at least until lawyers intervene. This is how someone like 50 Cent consistently wins rounds without signing a single contract. He sells confidence as an inevitability. It's also why a serious apology can instantly be flipped into comedy. If the crowd believes the rumor, a grown man's move can suddenly look like a white flag. The real blueprint for resolution. The only effective fix is to move slower than a caption, but faster than a rumor. This means putting facts into formats that cannot be clipped, e.g. deal memos, dated milestones, and clean paper trails. Going quiet until the next official update is ready. Memes and gossip die when they have nothing left to consume except progress. Conversely, dropping one careless show of force, flex, will give them new content to feast on for a week. Even Dame acknowledges the internet court's trap. You try to control the story and end up feeding it. The solution isn't a better comeback. It's starving the beast with boring excellence built on dates, deals, and deliverables. Moving forward, the real blueprint is policy, not the blueprint. From banter to business, the true resolution requires a focus on posture and professionalism. It demands proof, not just vibes, no family names, no rumor recycling, and no fresh ammunition for memes. If 50 Cent's claims about the business are real, they need to be substantiated with public paperwork. If Dame Dash's counterclaims are correct, he must walk Harlem through the verifiable details: what's cleared, what's not, and why. Products over posts. The key to victory in this public dispute is to announce products, not posts. The focus should be on creating something undeniable, such as a confirmed table read on the calendar, locked clearances and rights, the cosign of a neutral producer who holds weight in the borough. When the internet acts as the judge, the only true appeal is delivery. Each achieved milestone makes every old punchline sound like yesterday's rerun. The personal wound and the 3 steps to peace. However, no contract can bulldoze a personal wound. Cameron's boundary isn't about paperwork. It's about how a friend handled a friend in public. If that's the core damage, the only fix is a private repair before any public rollout. This requires a room, a sincere apology, and a clear decision. No captions, no cameras. If Dame wants his peace offering to be seen as a show of strength, he must remember that men move, memes don't. This requires 3 steps, executed in strict order. Principles, a public, definitive promise to keep family out of all content. Paper, full clarity on who has been paid, and a clear record of full rights from the actual holders. Product, a concrete milestone the city can circle on a calendar, demonstrating that this is business, not just buzz. This is the real grown-up pivot, taking the fight off Instagram and moving it to the signature lines. Conclusion, execution changes the ending if everything checks out. Ut cleanly, everyone saves face. 50 Cent keeps his momentum, Cameron keeps his code, and Dame Dash proves his olive branch was a blueprint, not a white flag. If he truly prioritizes business over banter, the only remaining question is whether the other two want to win bigger than a laugh. Dame has already shown his hand, asking Harlem to judge him by what he delivers next, not what was clipped last. Cameron drew a line no contract can erase, and 50 Cent smirked his way through it, selling confidence. We've seen this play. Apology versus algorithm. Before. The only way to change the ending is through execution. If the next headline is about a locked clearance or a confirmed table read, the laugh track dies on its own. If not, the internet wins again. 3 men who built empires still know how to build one more thing: silence when it's time to work. Harlem will believe the talk of unity the moment they can circle a real release date on the calendar. Until then, it's just reruns on the timeline.